Hi, Julie Torrens here. We're going to be working in the Junkie Journal. And what we're going to be doing is there is a challenge on the Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists Facebook group that I'm in. And the challenge is to use, it's a color challenge. And, as they always say, it's not really a challenge, it's for fun. But the colors are raspberry, purple, and lime green. Well, I just happened to, weeks I think ago, go ahead and paint these two over with gesso. This one I used a stencil, but it's basically black. We can use always black, white, and a metallic. But look at this side. It's purple, it's raspberry. Underneath here is yellow, but we're going to be covering up a lot. But I just thought, oh, this is amazing that the very next page, because I was ready to go anywhere in the book. But no, the very next page, which I had prepped already with gesso, ooh, it's ready to go. So, all right, enough talk about that. We'll set it aside for now. You're going to need some magazines because we're going to do a fun and different. If this has been on YouTube, I've not seen it, but I'm sure it has been. Let me know in the comments where you saw it. But I've got some magazines, and what we're going to need is some figures of people. Now we've got to think about the size of the journal and where they will fit. And we're just going to pick out people that will fit that wouldn't be too hard to cut out, okay? So this almost fits the bill, a little bit big. We'll keep going. Same here, a little bit big. Now, if you wanted to just do, for instance, a hand holding an apple, this would be great for, for one page. But I decided on figures, so we're going to keep on that. You could do shoes. You know how interesting shoes can look. She's interesting. But no, I'm not interested in her again. She's interesting. Well, she's way too big. We're getting to some big stuff. Okay, look at her. Do you see? She's an interesting shape. She's got her hands up. I think she would be easy to cut out. Let's work with this one. So, yay, we got through that. You could do a stack of suitcases, a stack of purses. You could do fruit. Ugh, I'm just trying to get that out of the way. All right, so once you settle on, and you're going to need more than one figure, but I'm just going to demonstrate with one. So the next step, once you find your figure, is you're going to turn it over and kind of figure out, and I've got a big old black Sharpie, I'm going to kind of figure out. Now, when I did this, because I did some pre-prep, I just held it up to a window so I could see my figure. But I can kind of see my figure if I do like this. And it starts here, it's here, it's here. And I'm sorry that I know I'm doing what you can't see. Okay, her feet end about there. So this is, if I was holding it up to the window, I'd be making a circle about like this, okay? I hope you're keeping up. Then you're going to need the black. This is just from my bargain bowl. It's some black paint. Now, when I was using this earlier, it exploded all over. Oh my. You don't need a lot, but we're going to put black on the back. So I've got my brush, and the brush is wet because I cleaned it. Let's get some of that water off. May need some more paint now. Now, I'm not worried about how my circle affects the person that I'm going on top of. I want a nice solid black that's still quite see-through because the brush was wet. That's all right. Still a little more black. It'll be fine. And again, I'm just using acrylic paint from my bargain bowl. But fill this in with black, okay? Makes sense? Okay, I'm going to put this in the water. When you're done with this, it's going to need to dry. And again, you're going to do, a couple, 3, 4. You'll know what size based on the size you're working on. But I saved her And I already put the black on, and she's dry. So now, when you get to this point, you start cutting out. So I'm going to start by cutting out too big, you know, just to get this bulk off. So debulk. Now I've got my little scissors. I'll show you what I mean. Let's get rid of this. Pardon me. I've got my little scissors because you're going to want to preserve as best you can detail. So these scissors are cutting lousy. So I'm going to grab another pair. My fussy cutting scissors are over where I do fussy cutting. But this has had time to dry. And I will tell you, you know how flimsy magazine can be. When you put the acrylic on the back, it really makes it easier to handle and easier to cut. So that's a big bonus. But I'm trying to get some of the detail here of her hair. Now I know she's big, but I'll show you my thinking when we get back to my journal. So you've picked out several pictures to go in the space that you're working. You took a marker, marked them on the opposite side by holding them up to the window so that you could see through, and then you put black paint all on the back of whoever you're cutting out. Right? That's the step that we're at right now. I'm cutting out my image that has been made black on the other side. But I liked her because, as I say, she's going to fit where I want her to fit. Because I decided, you know, mine is like a double page spread. And I decided that I was going to have smaller figures on one side and then a bigger kind of a wow on the other side. You'll see what I mean when we get there, I promise. Okay, so we've got her outside done. But see, it's important for me to get this now. I'm just going to give it a little fold, and I think I can do it with the scissors that are in my hand. Make a space, and then just head off and start cutting. I don't want to amputate any limbs. Kind of unusual, like I always say, if I'm doing magazine art, usually somebody loses their head, but not in this case. Not for this one. Now, if you make a little mistake as you're cutting, don't worry, no one's going to see. You know what I mean? If I decide to slim out her waist, which I'm not, or if I decide to add a bracelet, or, you know, I mean, I can just do that, but because no one's going to see. Here we go. Almost done. Thank you for your patience. But I wanted you to see, you know, kind of all the steps. And with the cutting, you want to get the details because we're going to be using these as silhouettes. So this is the way it's going to go on my journal page. So if I didn't, you know, cut the way I did, then it wouldn't make sense. This would just be all black. So, okay. And I'll show you the ones that I've picked out and cut out. I've got her, and you can see she's on, it's really some kind of like an art, you know, there's golden paint right there. But when you turn her over, doesn't that look fine? And then I've got her. Doesn't she look like a good silhouette? And then I've got her. Some close up, some far away. So these are the silhouettes that I'm going to be working with. Now, in the process, this cat, this little kitty was there. But it was after I had already, so I had to, I'd already cut out. So I spared the cat. I went ahead and just recently, I'm going to let this dry a little bit more, but we're going to cut that little cat out. because I'm going to hold it up. Hopefully you can see. The cat doesn't have like a little fine skinny tail or little fine skinny legs that would be impossible to cut and glue. But the cat, the way it's laying, and I think when we cut it out, it's going to look like a cat. So I just wanted to save that. We'll see. Maybe we'll use it, maybe not. Okay, back to our journal. Now, what's next? We want on here detail, fine detail. So I've got my paints, lime green. This is kind of a raspberry color. It's called Fruit Punch, but I thought it looked raspberry. I didn't have anything named raspberry. I also grabbed this magenta because I thought, again, raspberry. I grabbed this, which is called Wild Orchid, but I thought it looked raspberry. Will we use them all? I don't know. And then purple was the other color. Here's the purple that I got. Now I pulled out a yellow because I wasn't sure if this green, because it's just called green, if it was limey enough. So I brought some yellow in case I want to lime that up a bit. Here's my purple, and this is that folk art gel paint, but it's a deep purple, like a dioxazine type purple. And then I've got this gold for my metallic, and this is called gold, but it's if you see it, it looks like white. It is one of those, I call them shapeshifters. It's one of those paints that it's iridescent, and sometimes it looks like gold, sometimes it looks like white. Well, white and gold are in both. Will I use it? I'm not sure. Got my glue, got my white, got my black. So that's how we're going to use. Now I also grabbed, I've got the Sharpie, and that was for tracing so that we could know where to put our black acrylic paint. I don't have a raspberry Posca, but the people, which is Paula and Carrie, that are kind of in charge of our color challenge of the month, they said, use with the best you can, do what you have. So the best I can with my Poscas is pink. Then I've got white. I've got purple. I didn't bring black because I feel like we've got, enough black. And then I found this in the archives of my supplies. It's an oil-based paint marker that's gold. Again, will we use all of this? I don't know. I've got the paper plate to use as a palette. Now, as I said, we want patterned design, all very small, tight together. We're going to create chaos. Chaos is a good word for it. I'm going to spare the markers for right now. I'm going to rinse that black brush that I dropped in the water because I don't want my brush, the wood will swell and then the brush will want to fall apart, and I don't want that. So I'm just getting the black, and then I can set it aside to dry. Didn't need the little scissors, but if you do, have them handy. Okay. Small, fine detail. How are we going to start? Well, I'm going to start with some acrylic paint. Let's start with what we think is our best bet of raspberry. So I'm just going to put some of this on there. And I'm going to put some of the pearlized, give it a shake. Shake your liquid acrylics. This is a Martha Stewart paint. Came in a set of pearlized paints and also metallics. The gold came from that same set. All right, got these on here, wet my brush, dab it off, and I want to start with some details. And the patterns are going to be all over. Like, I'm not going to have a group here, a group here. You could, but I just decided no. So I'm just going to start with this by making marks like this. Just like this. All over. Now, this isn't the most exciting thing to watch, I realize, but if you want to know the process, this is what it takes. But it's so fun. I mean, you could just crank up some music and just, even you could be listening to a book on, you know, what do you call it? Like, I want to say books on tape, but that's a very old phrase. You know, listen to an audio book and just go to town. Go to town. And yep, I'm going to make this all over. All over. Isn't this cool? I mean, talk about fun. Now, you could, if you had maybe some rubber stamps and different colors of inks, you could do this. You could, well, we're going to take some shapes. I've got some, at least one shape in mind. I hope I brought it to my desk. If I didn't, it's all right. But, you know, like a toilet paper roll, dunk it in the paint and put some circles all over. This is kind of starting to look a little bit like a cheetah or, you know, I don't know, animal-y, furry kind of thing. And yes, I realize that it's almost like, well, Julie, you've already nailed it just with the pink. Oh no, this is not chaos. This is orderly. We want chaos. So we're just going to keep putting it on. Just like this. Yep. I have to tell you, as I was preparing for this, I wanted to have some of the magazine parts cut out ahead, you saw. So, you know, I'm getting my supplies out and, you know, getting set up. These videos, you know, they take a little prep, but I enjoy that part of it as much as I enjoy the rest of it. And I opened that tube of black. It exploded. If I didn't know better, I would think that it had been on an airplane and changed altitude pressures, you know. And so now when I opened it, the pressure had built up and I had paint all over, black, of course, all over my hands, all over, I mean, up to beyond my wrists, all over this table. It was everywhere. It was everywhere. Yeah. And so I thought, well, thank you. You know, you gotta find the thanks in everything. Thank you for not having it explode on my video. Because that would have been maybe a good laugh. I laughed. But yeah, then when I went to take it off, because I finished what I was doing, you know what I mean? I've got all these things circled and ready to go with the black, and the black is everywhere, and we're not going to just let it dry. We're going to scoop it up from all the places and use it. And that's exactly what I did. But now I'm at the sink washing black off of everything. I hope you can see. When I got to the sink, some of the paint on my arms and hands was such big blobs that it just exploded black in the sink. All of a sudden, it just, woo. And there I am. I have a little scrubby. It's one of those scrubbies that you can scrub your pans, but it's not supposed to destroy the surface. Well, I count on it not to destroy my skin. And I was scrubbing, and I mean, you know, getting all this black off, and the wetter it got, the more the black went everywhere. If you would have seen me, you would have thought I looked like a surgeon getting ready for a big surgery, and I'm scrubbing up with black. Just, oh my word. What a time. But as I say, find the funny in it, you know? And it was funny, and I was laughing. And probably if it would have gotten on the carpet, I would have been more, you know, sober about it. But no, that's another thing to be thankful for. Didn't get on the carpet. Okay, good. That's good, don't you think? All right. I think I'm going to just not even clean my brush, but I'm going to go into the pearl, and I'm going to do similar. Yeah. You mean that wasn't boring enough, huh? But again, see, this isn't boring to me. I can watch videos like this and just fall in love. I realize you're not going to see the whole thing, But oops, I'm just going into the, what is this called? Fruit punch. I'm going to do the same thing, but now I'm going opposite. So, and not quite as much. A little bit more spaced out. I keep wanting to go into the wrong paint. So I woke up this morning, yay, and I opened my patio balcony door here, or the curtains. Snow. Yep. I tell you, we're wearing short sleeve shirts and sandals one day, and within 48 hours, we've got our winter coats on because it's snowing. Isn't that something? Michigan. Okay, I'm probably way off the camera here, but I can't push the book up any further, so just be grateful I have such wonderful conversation to keep you entertained. Oh, I tell you, my life. You know that what people always say, you should write a book. Oh, no. No, thank you. But I'm liking the way this is looking. We're getting the chaotic now. We're getting more chaotic looking than the first go round, right? You'll be able to, I'll go fast here, as fast as I can, because I know I'm getting out of the vision of the camera. I'm guessing that, but all right. Okay, I'm going to turn it around. Now you can see one side versus the other side. Chaos, right? All right, over here, let's go with some chaos. So this morning, lots happened when I got up this morning. My son is in Georgia. I'm in Michigan. He's in Georgia, but from when he had texted me, he was leaving in 5 minutes, heading to Florida for a conference. My son works in IT for a large radiology firm to keep everything secure, to keep medical records secure, to keep all of their correspondence, the sending of records from one spot to another, that it comes to them safe and nobody can get into it that doesn't belong, HIPAA and all that. And then also when they broadcast back, because the images, the radiology images, come to them via the net, the web, and then the doctors interpret things and then send them back to where they belong. Now, these x-rays and other images are taken all over Michigan. So, this is so wonderful that these doctors can, some of them I believe, now this is, I need more paint, work remotely. And my son has to make sure that is all those connections. Everything's got to be safe. We don't want anyone in that doesn't belong. So I don't know. Who cares about all that? I do. All that to say that I don't know if he's traveling to learn about radiology stuff, the machines and the this and the that, IT stuff, hardware. He is over like all their printers, all their phones, their laptops, just you name it, software. And they forward him anything that might look suspicious, even if they don't think it's suspicious, but it's strange, whatever, all comes to him. So yeah, don't know if it's a cybersecurity thing, a hardware, don't know. But I know he'll come home with lots to tell us, and I hope he's safe and has a good time. And then my daughter-in-law is here, and my grandson is sick. So he's with his other grandma while she went to church, because she serves one Sunday a month or something, and this happened to be the time. My son was supposed to be there too, but he's out of town, but she wanted to go, and God bless her for that. All right, the book goes this way. Okay, look at it. We're getting there, right? I love it. I've got some leftover paint. Now, I don't know that I'm going to be using this acrylic paint or not. So I'm just going to take my mist, give it a couple of mists just to help keep it. And let's go with the purple. How about that? And we're going to need to do something with the purple. I remember this one I have to open this way. Again, bargain paint, bargain from the bargain, on clearance at Tuesday morning, which is no more. But it was, that yellow tag meant it was on clearance. I don't know what it was originally. When I'm going for bargain paint, I try to go for $2 or less a tube. Usually it's the or less. All right, now, remember I said I thought I had something to do this with. Well, I'm sure I've got something on my desk that I can do that with. Let me, hang on one sec. I've got this. We can do this. And these are little cosmetic sponges that I use to dab paint. I use it to dab ink. And I'm going to go into the purple. I think I'll use this end. Stomp, stomp, stomp. And I'm going to just kind of do the same thing. And I think I'm going to go this time diagonal. Like this. Yep. All over. Well, you're covering up. Not completely. And again, we're making a pattern. We're making some texture. Some of them are close together. Some of them are far apart. I'm not smashing this down, so we're getting the texture of the sponge. All going diagonal. All over pattern. Kinda. Now this is getting dark, and we're going to need to get some light on it, and we will. I'll show you how. Okay, very, very good, very good, very good. Again, leftover paint. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to now just mist one spray. I'll give these guys another shot. There we go. I don't want to water them down, but I don't want them to turn into plastic before we're done. Okay, we're getting some good chaos going. Now, lighten it up, right? Okay, let's get white. We're allowed white. This is a De La Rowney. I couldn't believe I found titanium white in a bargain bin, but I did. Little bit of white on the plate. Now, let's go back. You know, sometimes an accident can be good, or a mistake. Let's grab another one of these. There are all kinds of shapes. Look, I'd have no idea what shape that would be. We'll use it. Now I could go here. There's like a, it would make kind of a leaf shape here. I could go here and it'll just make a round shape. We already kind of have a long shape, so I'm going to go with the circle shape and just make dots and blobs. And I realize that the purple paint here and there is still wet, so it's going to lift up. I don't care. Yep, chaos. Layer upon layer of chaos. And I like that you're able to see, okay, see, after white, before white. Let's go in here. Love it. Good. Paula, Carrie, are you watching? Let me know in the comments, you two. Hey, by the way, I was up to 900, yay, subscribers. And then someone left, so I'm back down to $8.99. And people come and go, that's okay. But I'm working to get 1,000 subscribers. So go ahead, hit that subscribe. It's free. I'm going for 1,000 subscribers, and then we're going to have a giveaway. So, all right. Love this. I really do. I'm not just saying it. So what do we have left? Okay, so the colors were magenta, purple, lime green. So I'm going to just set these two sponges. I'm going to drop them in water. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That way they won't go hard and I can clean them later. See, I've got little water jugs here. Okay. Now, you know, if I had lime green washi tape, which I don't, but if I did, I could use washi tape or, you know, whatever you want. You're not beholden to use these colors. I just thought it was fun, but I could use washi tape. All right. Enough jabbering, Julie. Let's get some green going here. And we're going to have to decide how we're going to manage it. Now, I got a few little purple blobs there. I'm not going to worry about it. There's the green. And I am going to add a little yellow to that because it's not limey to me. It's just kind of grassy green. So I want to add just a little bit of yellow. Good. And I'm going to grab the same brush I was using. Mix this up and see what we get. There's heavy pigment in that green because it just kind of ate up the yellow, but it did change it. It did. And I definitely feel like it's more limey. It could use more yellow, but to tell you the truth, I feel like I've already got enough paint. So we're just going to go with this. Now, thinking. I'm rinsing this. I know what I want. Yay. I've got a card. Let's do some lines. Yep, here we go. So I'm just gonna, oh yeah, good. These are kind of heavy with paint. It's a heavier body paint, and it's kind of sticking up like little white caps in the ocean, which is good. Now that I've got these, I'm just gonna drag. I'm dragging white, I'm dragging everything. Just dragging. I like this. Okay, let's get some more. Let's work on the other side. Isn't this fun? This is fun to me. Is it messy? Kinda. But I'm not getting it all over my clothes. I'm not getting it all over the walls. I'm not getting it all over the house. There's stuff I do right here at this desk that's messier. Spray inks. Love them. Use them all the time, but yeah. But are we getting what I said? Chaos? Here we go. Just dragging everything sideways. And it's not obliterating everything, because some of it's dry, some of it isn't. It's okay. Good. I like that. But you know what? I want more. I want more green. I'm going to take this and I'm just putting it like, see, I can scrape it right off of there. I'm going to do some of that. Now I scraped it off of the edge. I got to do it over again. There. And I'm just going to do here, there, a little bit of scraping. It's so transparent that I'm not losing what's under. Good. Now I'm just going to get rid of the paint that I can. And now I'm just going to scrape the other way. Yep. Good. A little more there. Good. I love it. I love it. Okay. Do you think I'm crazy? I might be. This is shiny and it's wet. So I'm not going to use a Posca on it yet. I may not use Poscas at all. We're getting good here. I'm liking it. But I think I want to go with some gold now. Some metallic-y kind of a thing. And I think I want to go small again. So opening up the gold, putting it as a big bubble, putting it in a dry spot. There we go. And again, if it's going to pick up some of this green because that's wet, but that's all right. Do I want this? Not really. I'm looking around. Don't fret. What I'm looking for is something here, like the top of a Posca or the bottom of a Posca. Something that's going to give me circle, but not as big as the white that we have. Cotton buds. That's the answer. Get your Q-tips out. Get them out of your ears, and let's start making some dots. Perfect. Yep. Can you see what I'm doing? There goes my voice again. Sorry. Got a cup of coffee here that I could take a slurp and see if that will help. Some of these are really thick with paint. I'm just going to borrow some of that paint. Now, this is one of those situations. Sorry for clearing my throat. This is one of those situations where this is going to start looking like a mess. You might be saying to yourself, Julie, honey, you hit that 20 minutes ago. Well, it needs it. Otherwise, our next step won't work. And we can always calm it down. But I got to say, I'm enjoying this. All right, here. A little more gold. I know you can't see, but it's just me putting paint on my paper plate. Not exactly thrilling. Now I'm getting the heavy blobs again. You don't want those heavy blobs. I mean, unless you just want to wait till tomorrow for it to all dry. Okay. Ta-da. Are we there? I want some more. You know, here I am. I can tell. Not getting the edges. Lots in the middle, not in the edges. Let's work on the edges, Julie. Some places I did pretty good. But some places I can tell, not so much. But we'll hit it with the gold. Now, for those that are telling me I'm not artistic, do you think I'm using great amounts of artistic flair in this? No. That's the answer. Say no. No, I'm just making marks. Marks on top of marks. And did I have this planned? All I knew was the colors, and it needs to look like chaos. That's what I knew. But did I say I'm going to go left and right and sideways? No. I'm just doing it. I'm going on top of the heavy dots and moving that paint around. Okay. Good and good. Let's get the mister bottle. Just a little bit. Don't need to soak it. Now, I'm going to hold this because I know I can see differently than you see. You see differently than I, and it all depends on where these lights, I'm working under a lot of lights, and where it all hits. Okay, now, this is your favorite part, said no one ever. I'm grabbing my heat tool, and it's under some books. Hang on. Oh, if you hear a big crash, that's me. Not to worry, I'm okay. Yay, okay. Here we go. You think you've got something ready and you don't. I'm going to dry this and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now, is this bone dry? No, it's not. But it's drier than it was, and I think we can go ahead and work on our next step. So I'm just going to give the paint, and I'm setting it aside. Just gave it a little mist so that it doesn't completely dry up. And let's get our silhouettes. Now, let's start, pardon me. Let's start with our little kitty. And let's cut the kitty out and see if we can, if it looks like a cat. Because I think it will. And this won't take but a moment. And you could do all cats and dogs. The sky is the limit. I just like, I'm cutting out the bulk. I just like fashion magazines. I like, you know me, faces, people, figures, bodies, all that. This is giving me a little bit of a fit here. There we go. I am cutting and concentrating, I'm sorry. You cannot see the whiskers in this picture, so I don't have to worry about whiskers. Okay, does it look like a cat? Oh, yes, it does. How fun. Now, will we use it? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But what I was thinking is, this is her. Remember her? I was thinking of having her be on this side. And then this one, she can go way back. You know, she's far away. She's close up. She can be walking right along the bottom here. I'm thinking, I don't want her to look too crazy, okay? And then I've got this lady who's kind of in the middle of it all. All right, first thing that I'm noticing, it's kind of a lot. But I know sometimes I don't get enough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scoot her over. So I'm going to cut off part of her arm. And I'm just going to go as straight as I know how. There. And now we still get the effect, but we've just moved her over, which I think helps a lot. Now we've got her. Okay, that helped a lot. Her. Is she almost, that doesn't look good. That looks better. I like her because she's in motion. This one, one of the legs of her little stand got bent. Okay, maybe, and maybe. All right. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I think we're going to do it. Let's start gluing down, okay? Now, I'm going to be using, this is the Beacon foam and poster board. It's related to Fabri-Tac. Fabri-Tac can do even more. But when I looked on the Beacon site, this does just about everything Fabri-Tac does, nowhere near the cost. And I buy the little bottles at the Dollar Tree. Last time I was there, they didn't have any but one bottle that had leaked all over. And a friend of mine, Susie, are you watching? Told me that at her Dollar Tree they don't have it anymore. So maybe they won't have it anymore. I'll look for it other places because I love these little bottles because, you know, like right this minute, we're waiting for it to come down. Well, when you have a big bottle, that's a long wait. All right, arthritis hands, let's get going here. Pardon me again. And I'm just gluing. Now, this is not a junk journal that I'm going to be giving to anybody. This is just mine. So if it's not perfectly glued down, I'm not going to worry about it. But I want to, you know, part of the joy is when you're done, you've got a finished product that you're happy with, right? So, all right, I think that'll be good, and I'll lay that down so we don't have that same issue, hopefully. And let's get her right up to the edge with her arm. Oh, she needs to come down. Ah, leave her. No, I want her down. Sorry. Now I don't have her arm in the right place. Come along, darling. There you are. There you are. Good, good, good. Do I have a card that I didn't smear up with green? Yes, I do. But be gentle because, you know, that glue is on that shiny magazine. So be gentle. Okay. Looking good. I'm going to save her for last. Let's do her next. And they can overlap a little bit. It doesn't matter. Wasn't that a neat trick to do your black on the other side and then cut it out rather than cutting it out and then trying to paint it black? Oh boy, that's a torture. Okay, she's going right here. Okay, now our girl with the cart. Why am I kind of being slow on her? Because she's going in the seam. But it's all kind of soft, so it's not feeling too bad. I'm going to take a Q-tip, a dry one, and just give this a bit of a crease. Okay. And now I can just crease her a little bit more. And let's get the glue on her. So yeah, woke up to some snow this morning. It's pretty. It's about noon now and it's already gone. We haven't had sun, but it's warm. And they had said with this snow that it would be heavy at times, but that there would be no accumulation. No surprise to me. It's warm. It was warm. The ground is warm. Everything's warm. So it was just like a dusting over the grass. It was pretty. And we've got all the geese and the squirrels and everybody's out, which is fun. I love it. Now, as I am manipulating all of this, there's been a few little places where the black came off. Let's see what's happening here with my cart. I'm just her arm. There we go. There we go. Yeah, work it out. But like I can see where there's like a little red mark. You're going to get that from place to place because, you know, the glue or the gluing process and all the handling. I'm just taking the black Sharpie. There, fixed. See? So you can do that too. All right. Now, where I see these little bits sticking up, I'm going to grab, I'm looking, it's here, yeah. my art glitter glue, just because it's got this fine nozzle, and I'm going to just tack down those little places. It's just easier. There we go. Her foot. And I probably didn't get the other glue all the way to the edges like I should, but that's okay. Anybody else sticking up? I think we're doing good. Okay. Get the pin back in this. What do you think? Is it looking cool? Is it a cool art journal page? I think it is. Okay, she needs glue. I'm having a blast. I hope you are. Carrie and Paula, I hope you're okay with this project. They're so kind. They'll say they're fine. But hey, the goal was to have fun and to do a little something in my junk journal, and I am doing both. I'm having fun, and I'm getting a fun journaling page, and I'm so happy. I enjoy these challenges, even though I don't always have time to do them like I would like. She belongs fairly close to the bottom. She looks armless, but she's not. You can see there's her purse that she's hanging on to. So that's great. Okay, we're getting there. I love it. I love my little silhouette people, all busy doing things. Aren't they fun? Okay, now, just to make them seem a little bit, what can I say? I don't want to say like stand out, but I want them to look a little less slapped down. If I was doing this with the regular way, the way you see me do it most often, I would be going around everything now with a black Sharpie. Well, there'd be no point in that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around everyone with a white, with my white Posca. And just, you know, I'm not worried about perfection, but I think we're going to see a difference. I think it will help each of these figures make a little bit more of a statement on the page. You could go ham with this. You could do all kinds of black and white doodles on them. You could, I mean, just whatever you feel like, whatever you enjoy. I know my hands are all over, but I'm trying to not be totally in your vision. Ta-da! See? Compare her to the others, and I think it helps. All right, I got to turn it around so I don't drag my arm over that. And let's work on the girl with the cart. It really doesn't look like a cart, does it? Because I didn't add all the details of the cart. But it looks more to me like she is, and I'm these overlapped. I'm not cutting them apart yet. I want to see what it looks like. And when I say cutting apart with the white, I want to just see. I want to see what that ends up looking like. Really couldn't get in there where the seam is of my book. But again, this doesn't have to be perfection, not at all. Now I do want to do in here. I'm going to give my pen a shake. Okay. Immediately I've got a little bit whiter going on. Just, you have to do that from time to time. It's acrylic paint, and it's got a binder, and it's got pigment, and all that kind of business. Okay, let's do her, and then we'll decide if we're gonna do a seam. I hope I haven't been off the chart the whole time. Hope you can see. I'm gonna give it a push. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, but she is in front of her, so she gets the line. There. Yeah, needed that. But I just wanted to be sure. Move this over as far as I can, hoping you can see better. Concentrating, huh? Sorry. Ooh, put my finger right in it. So what was our challenge? The colors: raspberry, purple, and lime green, plus a metallic gold, plus black and white. Check, check, and check. Oh my word. I love it. I think this is a fun art journal page, don't you? Okay, I'm gonna pump this one more time. J. Torrens. Good. Now, oh, the people told me date it. Okay, this is 3/24. All right. Looking good. I'm just going to give this a second to dry. And then, remember this? We got the place for it. Yep. Got that brush. We're not going to let this go to waste. Let's get, I know, some of this. I do not want this to stick together. There. Okay. This is really white, but I'm going to tell you, this combo, I don't want it to be right in the next page, so I'm just blindly opening this up. We got a little flip-flop there. Those are always fun, aren't they? Let's start and get rid of some of this paint. And I'm not getting rid of it like it's garbage, but that's the whole point. It isn't garbage. So I want to use it, and then, I mean, why should I come and gesso when I got acrylic paint right here, right? Boy, did I have enough of this? All right, we've got the purple. Let's do this here. Restaurant paperwork. Just all my junk journal made from junk. My junkie junk journal. Junk mail and leftovers and overruns and cutoffs and offcuts and all that. Okay, I've only got this magenta, which I called raspberry. We'll put some on here. And the purple's still coming through, which is fine. All right, and lift it up so hopefully it doesn't stick. And any of this left, oh, white, Grab some of the white. Okay, brush in. This has been used, and we thank you. Didn't have any green left, remember, from the card we did. So now we can go back and let's see if we still love this. I'm going to put this here, but I know, what can I reach? Oh, for the, well, here, glue page. That'll be fine. There is our beautiful finished work. Thank you for joining me today. Please remember, thumbs up, subscribe. I need subscribers desperately. I'm almost at 1,000. And right down here is a video picked out just for you, and I will see you over there. See ya.